So what about these bigger churches that can't afford it?
What about the bigger churches?
Like I'm trying to understand why.
It goes back when I really don't want to talk about the bigger churches, but I will say this. I know some bigger churches personally that are doing in their community, that are going out, and then I know some that don't. And I'm gonna say it like that without.
So I just want to know of a church that the homeless man that at 1:30 in the morning is like, that's it. I'm done with this. I want to turn my life around. What happens to him when he gets up to the doors of the church and they're locked? And he goes to the next door and it's locked. And he goes to the next one and it's locked. Like, that's where, like, I hear all the reasons why it's, you know, everything that you named as far as things that can happen. It can all happen at 2 in the afternoon though. Somebody could go walk into church at 2 in the afternoon and slip in the bathroom and suit. Somebody could go into church at 2 in the afternoon and have a meeting scheduled with pastor. And I'm not saying pastor has to be the one there at 2 in the morning, but you have people.
But that's the thing. Finding a people that are responsible, they're reliable, that would, even though they have to go to work, will be there at 2 o'clock in the morning, so not getting sleep.
Whose job is it to train those people up?
The pastor. But if he don't got people willing to do it, then who's gonna train?
So you mean tell me because there are churches that have been staples of the city for decades and decades and decades, and if the power of God is flowing through your church, you mean to tell me after all this time that you have not been able to train up adequate people to be able to be a resource to the community 24/7? That is a problem. That's a huge problem. If you've been around for decades and 80% of your congregation is still living in poverty, I look around and everything around you is desolate and torn down and broken around your church. And you have not been able to train up enough people, enough leaders to be a community resource 24/7. How are you going to convince me that the power of God is flowing through what it is that you're doing?
I will say this. At the end of the day, people have free will.
Very true.
To what they will do for the kingdom and what they won't do for the kingdom.
Very true.
So, I'm going to say some of it is some of these pastors' fault. And then some of it is because they don't have the workers. Or the people that they have, or that's really dedicated, are 60 and above.
So then that comes to my next point. So if church A, church B, church C individually don't have the workers, but church A, church B, and church C, if they come together,
but that's the thing, though.
They would have the workers necessary at that point.
And that's how we're supposed to be, one body.
But we're not.
It's the church are how it's supposed to be. As church A, church B, church C, they're the members of the body.
Thank you.
So, but if they're not unified,
whose fault is that? That's a direct reflection on leadership.
I agree.
So where is the unification amongst the body? Let's just say Kansas City. If there's no unification, then
I want to shout this out.
Go ahead.
I don't know if he's gonna watch this, but I want to say to Pastor Terry Bradshaw. Have you ever heard of him? He just did a meeting where he's trying to unify Missouri and Kansas, whatever denomination that you are, he's trying to bring them together.
And I applaud those efforts because they are necessary.
Right. And then, so I also want to shout out to Pastor C.D. Madden, which is a Freedom Center. You know, his motto is, we are the church. So I want to shout him out because he is raising young people to really be about God's business, and not just in the building, but outside the building. So I just them two I want to shout out, and then Refuge KC and the things that they're doing with they have their daycare that they just opened up at their new building, and the community stuff that they do, and that's Pastor De'Eric Fields with the things that they're doing. So we might not have a lot, but we do have some that's tugging on the other churches to be unified. And that's a start. And that's a start.
What I'm saying is not a reflection on every single leader in the
metropolitan
area or globally. That's not. But I'm saying there's not enough.
Yes.
And because there's not enough, there are people every day who are falling away. There are people every day who are giving up. I know somebody right now that is going through a lot. I'll just say that without saying too much. And if we had the unification necessary in the city and the resources coming together in this city, for that individual and a lot of people walking through similar situations, it would look very different. And I feel like a huge problem is we're not doing enough calling out and holding leadership accountable for the lack of it, because it falls on leadership ultimately.
And he makes the other pastors look bad.
Yep.
Shout out to Bishop Michael McIntosh. He not only does the work in the church, but he also does the work in the community, and reaching out to the young men and speaking wisdom into them. So that's another one I wanted to shout out. And then we have Pastor Bradley does the same thing. Pastor Nunn does the same thing. And that's just a few that I know. And then you have Matthew Bradley that does the same thing. And you have Fred Nunn that does the same thing. They reach out and out into the community.
And we just need to see more of it. But on that note, we're going to come back with a part 2 to this, because there's a lot more that needs to be discussed. Anyway, for tonight, we hope you enjoyed. We hope that you got something out of it. Like always, if you're watching this, leave your questions, comments, concerns in the box below. Make sure you like, share, tell your friends and family about it every Monday night, 7:30 p.m. We're going live from Instagram. We're going live from Facebook. It's your boy Chosen with Ms.P in the building. Like we always say, love life, love each other, love God. Until next week, y'all be safe. We'll see y'all.
Bye.